But welcome everyone. I've expected about 4 to 5 people on the call. So I'm happy that the people that said they're going to make it are here. What we're going to do today is I'm going to show everyone how ClickUp works in terms of how to get started. So I'm going to go from the beginning on how to create an account, how to create a free account. And then I'm also going to show you how I've used ClickUp on my business and with my clients. And then we're going to go through 2 setups. So the one setup we're doing is for a client that has a security company. So they do training and they're going to have students. So we're going to show the flow of how students can be like controlled and how you can monitor the students and how you can actually onboard students. And the second setup we're going to do is with a property management company. So your typical property management companies, they've got certain tasks. So we're going to go through those project tasks and how you can capture them, monitor the staff who's doing it, and also report and showcase to like a manager what the status is for each task. Okay, cool. Full group. So I don't mind if we interactive. Okay. And at the moment you can see my screen, so that's good. So I'm starting with ClickUp in terms of why I chose ClickUp as a service and why I actually use it in my practice for the last 2 years. The main reason is I've seen how this product has grown from where it started in 2017, December, and I've seen how well they've listened to the clients. So they've looked at what the users require in project management, and they've actually created those tools and they did it fast. So if someone wanted, maybe the status wasn't working correctly, there was a bug, they'd fix it. Or if they wanted to edit a comment in the PDF, please add it. They created those functionality. So they built very quickly and they listened to what the clients wanted and what the business owners wanted. So that's the biggest reason of why I chose ClickUp. And they've continuously innovating. So they're adding features every week, every month, adding a feature. The latest feature that they are going to be adding, which we'll go through, is they're going to be adding a feature which you can email directly from the system. So you can connect your email address to the system, and then that will allow you then to keep track of all your stuff in one place. So let's see what ClickUp is all about. If we go to the homepage, and on the homepage, just go to, I'm so used to going into the ClickUp app that I've never been to the web, don't often go to the website. So what ClickUp promises is, it promises you one app to replace them all. So that's what so if you have the future of work, so all your tasks in one place, your project management in one place, your docs in one place, your email and chat in one place. So if you're using Slack, you can keep it all in one place. Even your spreadsheets, they allow you to embed your Google Sheets in one space. You can create events also in one space. You can even Zoom from ClickUp if you want to. I've noticed that, yeah, and you can keep it goals in one place. It also allows you to time track, and I'm going to go through some of the time tracking features of how you can time track. You can record and screenshot also. So if you're doing a training with the staff, you can quickly do a quick training session. You can record your screen and post it out there. And because it's cloud-based, they can view it. And then there's a lot of dashboards that that you can use. I'm going to go through some of the dashboards, and then we can see how far we get. But for now, it's mainly about how to set up your own account and how to get your own free account and get started. From this webinar, the aim is to have 12 sessions this year, once a month. And then we're going to build on the theme all the time. So we're going to build from the first session to the second session to the third session. If you do miss a session, not an issue. I am going to keep the recordings, so you're welcome to go to the recordings. To start, I'm just going to go to the website of where you can find all the information on this monthly webinars. So on my website, if you go to the live training link, now the live training link is going to showcase all the webinar series we're doing every Tuesday, the first of each month. And then also we're going to have a Q&A session on the third Thursday. So I've booked already the 12 sessions and the dates. And the aim is to stick to a theme. So you can have a look at the themes that we're going to be going through every single month. And you can decide if that's going to work for you or not. And this is going to help when I do release my 5-minute and 10-minute videos weekly on a specific task or specific theme or specific feature. If you understand the overall way of how to use ClickUp, it will just help you within on the specifics. The whole aim of ClickUp and the series is to help the business owner get set up on their side and how to control and manage the back office and control their staff. So if you're a service-based industry, especially, it's really going to help you because you've got staff all over the place. How do you manage them? How do you connect with your teams maybe twice a week, doing emails and live Zoom meetings to catch up? You can now actually, okay, while it's loading. Okay, this is how I've got my ClickUp. So on the ClickUp, I've got my different departments. So I've got a pipeline, which I'm going to go through today. So I'm going to go through the CRM part of how to use ClickUp. That's one of this. It's called the space. So these are all my spaces. And in each space, I've taken my space and I moved it and I made it into a department level. So my pipeline department is where my sales staff would be with, and they'll nurture those clients. Actual clients of mine, okay, I don't show all the details of the clients' names on this one, but on the contacts, I've got my clients' names and my client contact details and who I'm with and what I need. So each of them are in a folder level or a list level, which I'll go through later on with the difference in the two. Then I've got my actual clients that I'm doing for accounting, also all listed in a folder. Then I've got operational tasks. These operational tasks of how I have to run my business. So every business has got their own operations they have to do, but some of them are different and some of them are the same. I've even gone as far as reference numbers. So I've created the reference numbers for queries we do with service providers, like your cell phone companies. I track all of it, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to track and how I use it to track my tasks. So I keep everything in one spot, in one place. You maybe have HR functions or financial functions in your business. You can keep also track of that under your tasks. Then I've got another thing called marketing. So in marketing, you've got different types of avenues that you're marketing at. I've got my video production, which I use mainly as my marketing tool on YouTube. So I've got all my plans for how I'm going to be marketing for the next 3 months on YouTube, and I'm using it on ClickUp. Let me just click on that one and let it load. This is how a typical task list will look like. So I've got my video production, I've got my idea phases, I've got what's not started, I've got what's in progress, and I've got all the stuff that I've done. So I'm going to go through one workspace on how to actually do your tasks, allocate your tasks, and actually the thinking behind each task. And I've got the human resources department. I've got a full video on YouTube on how to set up your human resources for a leave request. And that takes you through the whole flow on how to use ClickUp. It is a longer video. And it was one of the first, actually the first video I did on ClickUp on YouTube. And it goes through how to do a leave request. So that's the departments or spaces. And then from there, you got a folder. So in my case, I put all staff members in a separate folder. And then each staff member has got a separate list for where they can allocate their different types of tasks. So I've got the timesheets in one. I've got a place where I can chat with them. I've got goals with it they set out. And I've even got training sessions and videos that I share clips with them. Okay. So that's the one part of the setup. The other part that does well with ClickUp is the dashboards. And this is the power of ClickUp. So all that information that we've done, the tasks, you are able to now view it in one space. So in my case, I've got like my staff weekly planner. Here's all my staff. That's all the stuff that they must do pressing for this week. And they can actually click into the task from here and view it and complete it. What else I can do is I can actually share this with someone else who doesn't have ClickUp, and I can public share this. So some stuff you can public share without the ClickUp account, and some stuff you can't. Currently on dashboards, you can only share it with those who have got a ClickUp account, but that soon will change. Because it's on the cloud, a simple URL giving permission will allow someone to view it on their side. And that's the beauty of ClickUp. You are able to share things without the other person having an account. I'll give you one dashboard, a simple dashboard of our client sample dashboard looks in my business. And this allows you to see the power of what ClickUp can do if you do use it for your business. So this is something that you can share with the client. And what I've done is I've created a normal sample dashboard, and I've duplicated every time I get a new client because the thing stays consistent. The first thing I do is I put a video on, which is embedded on YouTube, and that just shows you how to use a dashboard or what dashboards are about. Later, I'll welcome the client and I'll give a brief overview of how I'm going to be helping them. And then I also ask the client to please tick the progress of where they're at on the onboarding process. Have they watched my video that I gave to them? Have they signed in onto the software I gave them? Have they watched the videos on how to keep their business compliant? Have they uploaded all the documents that I requested? So, and this is editable, so I can edit, I can add more things if I want to later. And this is all live. So as I add this, the client will see it. I also have a section by chatting, so the client can chat on this platform. And this is the reason why they want you to have a ClickUp account, because without a ClickUp account, obviously you won't be able to chat. So you can actually keep all your clients in one spot and one place to chat with them. Sort of emails in one space and then WhatsApp in another, and then a phone call. You could rather just have it that let's keep all our communication in one space over here. And then you've got the tasks. Okay, at the moment, obviously this is a new space, so there's no tasks, but you can put in urgent tasks here and filter by what tasks you want to be shown here. Another good thing about the dashboard, which allows you to do, is allows you to create a form and then allow the client to submit their forms using this dashboard. And I love using this feature. This is my favorite feature in ClickUp, is because the form, anyone can fill in the form. They don't need an account to fill in a form. So this form then goes automatically to a task, which can then be taken to a staff member. A use case for these type of forms, which I'm using in my business, is collecting supplier invoices or supplier bank accounts from my clients. They can just type in the document name, it's a bank account, attach it, and I immediately have it in my ClickUp. And once I have it in my ClickUp, I can then allocate it to a staff member to please upload this and please check if the bank balance is correct to what we have on our records. Or please add this attachment to our QuickBooks online account, which we're helping the client with their monthly accounting. It gives me also a breakdown of where the tasks are, like what's in progress, what's not started, what's future stuff we must still do, and what is completed. So just give you a brief overview of that. And if I click on here, it will show me those tasks. I've also got the next steps again of where the staff is and what must be still be done relating to this task. So this is a sample dashboard, obviously. You can customize it as you feel fit. So let's open up an account. We've got Diane inside who is joined, and Diane is going to be the one who's going to be opening up a new account with us. So I'm going to go through this step by step. We were going to do it before, and I said let's just do it together with everyone in the room, so we can see how to set it up. And then we actually, after this, from a new account that's blank, by 8 o'clock, I want to have a thing where he can at least have some of his tasks in ClickUp and use ClickUp. And we're going to do it in such a way without showing any sensitive information. So because it's a public forum, I don't want to share something that can be damaging or giving out some information that might be personal. So we're going to try and keep it a bit generic. So Dayan, if you could maybe unmute yourself.
Good evening, everyone.
Now on Dayan's account, you'll see he's got the free account. It'll ask him to upgrade over here and he can add more workspaces. I'm not sure how many workspaces the free account can have. I get a feeling you can have more than one workspace, but you can have it, but they'll all be free. All right. A workspace is if you have different companies, maybe, or if you got different, working with different, you mainly you'll have one workspace. Okay. Unless you've got more than one company. What allows it to then is if I go to upgrade, I'm going to go through the pricing with you. But before I do that, I'm just going to show you how the setup looks on ClickUp. So you can see he's got the dashboard function. ClickUp allows you the dashboard function. It allows you the docs function. It allows you to have favorites. It allows you to have spaces. I think the only thing that changed in ClickUp in terms of limitation with spaces, stand to be corrected. I think they just limited the amount of spaces you can have. I think it's 7 or 10 around about there that allow you that. But in most companies, you probably only have 7 different departments, especially if you're using the free version. Okay. So that's a limitation they have. So let's just start with a space. And let's start with the space for Dayan, call it property. Do you want to call it estate management, Dayan? So we're going to create a new space. And we're going to call this space settings. And we're going to call it the space name. And we're going to change the space to call it property management. So this is all the property items that you'll be doing at the property. He's the owner. You can change the avatar. You can make it a building. There's a building. Okay. You can share this or make it private. So in these cases, make it private, but you can share this with other users who's on this workspace. Okay. So for now, I'm just going to keep it like this because he's going to be the only person on the workspace. What else we can do is the statuses. Now, this is where it gets nice because a project goes through certain statuses. Like if you use Trello, many people know the status from Trello in terms of getting started or in progress and then finished and then reviewed. So you get to choose on ClickUp what type of statuses you want. So you got the normal status like open, in progress, review, and closed. I try to keep it as simple as that. In this case, I'll move it as open, in progress, call it maybe for review, waiting on a manager, and I'll just add something here called done. I'll add a status and I'll call it done. I'll speak about that now, why I keep that as done. Okay, and then I'm going to move that down there. Okay, so we've got open statuses, in progress, it must be reviewed now, then done and closed. Done means the item is done, but you don't want to close the status in terms of making it disappear. You still want to see it in future. Okay. And then you got the close status. I'm gonna save this template. And you can rename the template also, and you can call it main. So one tip I can give you when it comes to statuses, or something I've learned myself, is keep your statuses uniformed. I always stress this. Keep it uniformed and keep it the same across all your spaces, across your whole organization. Because if you have too many statuses that are different, it's going to be harder for you to maintain what is where. Okay. So we're going to say review the change. Then comes a thing called ClickApps. And on ClickApps allows you, and this is where the power of ClickUp comes in. It allows you to decide what you'd want use in this workspace. So if you want to use time tracking in this workspace and manage your time and measure it and see where you're spending your time, you can click this on or you can click it off. Okay. Normally when you're playing with it, you probably want to keep everything on and then play from there and see what works for you and what doesn't work for you. Okay. And this is the free account. The free account, can you see the ClickApps allows you most of the things. This doesn't allow you sprint points, which is a sprint methodology on how to, like when you do something quick and you're behind on a project and you want to quickly go through something and then review it and then go through the second part. There's sprint methodology out there and most people don't use it. Personally, I'm not even using it myself. Okay. So there's different sprint, but you can add it on if you want to, but something I don't use. You can have multiple assignees. So you can assign more than one person to a task. You can have tags. So you can tag your tasks for easier search. You can add priorities if you want. Okay, there's again the sprints. Then you've got the custom fields. Now, this custom fields is the power of ClickUp, and then we're going to go through the custom fields when we create our task. So when you're starting your account, first thing is create a space. After you create a space, make sure you got the right statuses that works for your business. And then have a look at the ClickApps. Try and keep all of it on if you want and you play around with it. But notice that we're going to focus on this part here called custom fields today to set up our tasks. Okay, so we're going to focus on custom fields. That's where the power of your ClickUp workflow and the power of your ClickUp comes in. Okay, so we're going to review these changes. We're going to save it. And then we got the default settings for views. Your tasks, and this is what's so beautiful about ClickUp, is when you create a task, you can view it in different ways. So you can see it as a calendar view. You can see it as a map view. You can see it as an activity of everything that changed in that space. You can see it in a table format. You can see it as a mind map if you want to, and you can see it as a timeline. Okay. For now, I'm just going to keep it list view and board view. Those are the two main views I use. If you have a location with a client, you can put map view and it will show on the map where the client is under the view. Okay. So let's just keep it simple, and for now, just keep these two views and save the changes. Okay. So there we created our first space. Got our list view, we got our board view. Another view I'm going to add that I like using is a doc view. So the doc view would be exactly what it is, just a document. And I like to keep the document at the folder level or the space level. And you can rename the document. And for this document, we can call it how to use ClickUp. So this can help Dayan then write down all the ways and I can keep in touch and keep with these tasks. If I click on this thing again, on the view, I can see all the views I have. Okay. Another good view you can use is a form view and creating a form for getting clients information. And you've also got an embed view. Embed view means that you can embed something like a Google Doc or a Google Sheet that you have on your Google Drive. You can share it and it will come onto this workspace. So instead of you having to log into Google all the time, you can just log in onto this space. This is something I use quite often in my setup. All my staff, we do have a spreadsheet that's being used. We all log into our ClickUp and we can see it from ClickUp immediately. Okay. Some stuff I'm aware that doesn't work on the free version. I just don't know at the moment which one it is because they do change it sometimes. Okay. So here's the space. Can you see what's the reason for the space settings? I did change the name, Property management. Review, save. Okay, they changed it. Okay, so Dayan sent me an email of a weekly site meeting that he does. I'm not going to share that with everyone now, but I was going to show you what tasks that he does have on his side. And this tasks he'd like to share with his manager. So he's got certain tasks and he's send a weekly report every time. And this weekly report has to send to his manager. Doesn't always get, it's not live. So I said, what if you could make this thing live? What if you could create a document and show exactly to your manager what you're doing now, in which part of the building you're working at, and what's the status of it. So all he has to do is you can share it and public share it, and then just give him a public link. So this link he gets, that's the link, that's the URL link, and he gets to log into this thing and he can see everything that you see. That'll save him so much time. And it will save remote people working remotely from every time having a half an hour catch up on stuff that happened like 3 or 4, 5 days ago or 2 weeks ago. Instead, you can just share your progress, and then you can maybe have that meetings, but that meetings that's meaningful, that maybe how you could do things better, or what are the bottlenecks, or resources you need. You just make things go much more quicker, and that's the aim of the ClickUp. So in our case, Diana's got different areas that he's working on. So he's got security, he's got garden maintenance, he's got general, he's got pet applications, got domestic applications, he's got, so it's your typical management agent who's looking after a building block, okay? They've got moving in, moving out of tenants. They've got all the tenants' names, and I don't have the names here, obviously, but it's got the unit numbers, okay? And who the agent is on that unit, and or maybe the company. So in that case, you'll have another view, and you can add a new view, add a new space. And this space, we're going to call it, the residence. It's called the residence. So now he's got in one space all his residents. Okay. And then we can put a person here. Cool, residence, next. And again, you can go through the same setup. Residence might be a bit different. Main, maybe you could keep it the same like this, open in progress review. Maybe they're still moving in. We're not, yeah, we can keep it the same with that, and we keep the same views. Create the space. So let's create these two spaces. So we've got the residence and we've got the property management. Okay. Now, how do we create a task? So let's create our first tasks and how a task actually looks like, and then you'll be able to understand the functionality behind ClickUp. So let's create our first task. Okay, so we're in our list view, and I'm going to click on a task, and I'm just going to call it, let's see one of the tasks that Diana is here. We're going to call it fixing of boom. Fixing of boom gate. Okay, save. So then we create our task, we gave it a name. So when I click into it, it allows me to do certain things. It allows me to change the status. So this is in progress. We are busy now fixing this thing. It allows me to assign someone in my team to perform this task. It shows me the date I created this task. It shows me how long I've spent on this task, and I can click on this play button and it will play every time I'm busy with this task. Or I can just choose the time range that I was busy on this task. So I started at 8 o'clock in the morning, and I was 1 hour trying to fix the boom or organizing the company to come and fix the boom. So that's where I spent my time. It allows him to put an estimate time on how long it'll take to fix this boom gate, in terms of how long in his capacity it will take. Maybe it'll take 3 days to get the person. So that's what's nice about ClickUp. I can just put 3 days and it comes up. See? Okay, that's 3 days, sorry. Okay, that's 3 days. Okay, so what ClickUp does is 3 days, maybe you have to, in ClickUp, it asks you what is a day. So in a day might be 8 hours. You have 8 hours in a day of working days. So if you put 3 days, it will show 24 hours. So you just have to take a look at that. Okay. Okay, I don't want to do that now. And then it shows the due date. So when is this task due? So in our case, let's put this, that this is due 31st of January. Okay, that's a due date. It allows me to do a brief description here of what this is about. So I can say the gate broke, the wind, I don't know, whatever, this is the wind broke it. Okay, and this is obviously an urgent task. We need to fix this urgently because without the boom, it's access control is at risk. Okay, then it allows you to add attachments. So you can upload a file. Okay, now this is where the pricing comes in. ClickUp allows you to have all of this free, but you can agree with me, it costs money to keep documents in a server on the cloud. So the way their business model works is the more space you use, so if you need space, that's when you need to start paying for the service. And they're so confident in their offering, they know that you're going to end up adding attachments and adding all your things in one space. It just makes it easier. So the workaround around that in the beginning, what people were doing and what I was doing was I have all my things on my OneDrive and on my Google Drive. And all I'll do is I would add the link. So I'll share the link and I'll add the link and I'll put it in my comments. So I'll add the link of the Google Drive and add the link to the OneDrive, which was fair because you agree with me, to move from one software to another is not easy. You've so set in your ways in your software. Now to change that software to a whole new operational, new look and feel, retrain your staff, you don't just jump from one software to the other. So I was also deciding, should I move to ClickUp or not? And that's when I took the free version and I played with it with a few different spaces, put the URLs, use my OneDrive. And then after 6 months, I realized, you know what, this system is definitely going to work for me. Let me move. And I went to the paid version. And that paid version then allowed me to put and upload documents. So I'm now using it as a document management tool. And I can also, from here, upload whatever documents I do have in my OneDrive straight to ClickUp. And that's where the costs come involved. Now you're going to have to pay per user. And I'll go through the pricing after I go through the tasks. Cool. I think for now, I'm just going to ask a question. If everyone could maybe just ask the poll. I just found out I'm just talking and no one else is giving input. So maybe if I could just launch the poll and people could just say if they're still with me. Am I going too fast or am I going too slow? Am I finding it boring? Or yeah, or in the chat also just put through. Okay, and then I was going to see the on the YouTube live. I'm just going to quickly go into the live and just see if everything is fine there. Okay, we've only got one person watching there, so it's fine. Okay, cool. So everyone says, I'm going to end the poll. Everyone's happy with the way we're going. Okay, cool. So I'll continue at this pace then. All right, so we've got the attachment. You can add an attachment. On the free account, you get 100 megabytes, which if we all know is not going to last very long. So in my case, I'd rather tell everyone you can't add attachments because attachments of 100 megabytes is going to go up so quickly. You can also add comments. So in this case, you can add a comment. You can tag someone. that you've got on your setup, but because Dayan is alone on this ClickUp account, he can't tag anyone, but he can put notes here for himself and say that I called the service provider. Say comment. Maybe Dayan wants to fix the thing himself, the boom gate himself. The guy's taking too long. He can record his screen. And you can, let's just say you saw a YouTube video, you can record the screen and add it to the notes. Once again, I'm not sure how the screen works on the free account because it takes up space. So you can imagine how much recordings you can have, okay? So in future, you can reference this to the recording. And then he's got the priority as read. He's got his due date. He's got his chat box here. If you had more than one person, you could chat with him. Now comes the powerful part of ClickUp, which is the custom fields. So each task allows you to have your own set of custom fields. So if you go to the custom fields, these are the custom fields I'm talking about. So if you know project management and you understand project management, you can see that you can then build your own customizable task using these custom fields. So in this task, you can add an email address. So maybe you want an email address of the vendor. So we can put email address. Great. So now Dayan has got in one space the email address of who he's using for this particular task. You can add a new custom field and you can add a field called dropdown. And the dropdown field you'd like to use is maybe the department. And the department he has in his estate is the security department. The garden department, the common property, general. I'm not sure if there's a cleaning department, maybe.
Refuse department.
Sorry, the?
Refuse.
Refuse department. Okay. Yeah. Any other departments? So these are different departments which got more stuff underneath it, or you'd like to categorize it by that so that you know if you send the report to your manager knows what department it is. If the security department, now there's a lot of tasks there. So when you filter down, it's easy to report on it. Okay. You can add more departments as we go along. Let's just say common property, general. Is anything else you'd like to add as department there?
No, that's about it, huh?
That's about it, eh? I'm just going to put other in case. I like putting other in case something doesn't fit in and then you get lost. Then to make it look pretty, I'm just going to make it different colors. So gardening, make it green. Common property, let's make it gray. It's a gray area. General. Refuse. And then other. Okay. Great. So now we've got that. We add a new custom field. And the new custom field I like creating is called the checkbox. And the checkbox can mean there's a bottleneck or something. So you're waiting on something. Let's just say waiting on contractor. In your business, have a look at your bottlenecks, what you're waiting on, and try and use that as a checklist. That would be my recommendation. So think of Dayan phones the service provider, asks them, please fix this gate or the boom gate, and he phoned them and he repeatedly phones them. And now his manager's on his case why it's not fixed. So in his case, you can say that, look at me, I did contact the service provider. I'm waiting on them. That's where the snag is. And the issue is we paid a deposit and they are the only authorized supply that can help us in this case because of the security issue we have in our place. So that would be a nice bottleneck to showcase as a checkbox. If you do have the paid version, you can add the files. So you can add a special place there for files. like maybe for Boomgate, you could add a file for a special file there for a master file. You can add short text. In our case, what I'm going to do in our case, I'm going to do a setup and put the date there. And the date I'm going to do, and this is something I'm going to also have a video on this. I'm going to add a date, and I'm going to add a date called next steps. Next steps date. Cool. So we agree that the project is going to only end in 31st of January. But before it ends, there's certain stuff that has to be completed. Agree? So then Diane can put what he has to do next, and you can also put in a text box, next steps. Cool, great. So as I created all these things, my task allows me now to have 5 new things here. Can you see the new things that came up? So I can now choose a department. I can choose what next steps must happen. I must call the SP to deliver the part. Next step date, he has to do that by Thursday. Is he waiting on the contractor? Yes. No, they're still on time. It's fine. It's not a red flag. It's in a normal time. If they're overdue and you can't get hold of them, you can tick that, and then his manager can see that these are the people that he's waiting on. You can add an email address. Oh, you want maybe add a phone number. So let's go to add, and then you can add new customer field, and now you can add a phone number. So now he's got a phone number, and now you can see that you can add which are the ones that are most important. So for him, he'll always have a next step, and he'll always have the next steps, that one. Okay, I'm not sure why it's not pinning. Okay, there's it pinned. So that's pinned, meaning that every time he goes in his task, he'll always see this next steps. Okay. So the next steps, can you see those 2 things will be on top? Every time he creates a task, those 2 things will be on top. So this is due Thursday. He must call the SP. All right. So we're going to go out of this task. And that's how the task is going to look on his list. We can add, you see those custom fields aren't showing here? We can now add and say to ClickUp, please let's see these custom fields. So let me see what the date is. So the next steps date I want to see, and I want to see the next step text, what must be done, and I'd like to see the person's phone number and email. Cool. And you can edit this. How is that? Diane, is that going to work for you?
Yes, that will definitely work for me because I can actually see.
Can you see yourself?
I can see everything on one screen, yeah.
On one screen. So then what's going to end up happening is you're going to have a lot of tasks here, a crap load of tasks, all the tasks in one space. It's going to get confusing sometimes, am I right?
That's correct.
So let's just add 4 more tasks. 4 more tasks. Okay. Let's do cameras. So cameras. What's wrong with the cameras? Need to upgrade. Okay. And we click and we save it. We go into the cameras, need to upgrade. You can say we need to upgrade this for the 26. It's going to take you 7 days. And then what department is this for? This is also for security department. And the person's phone number. I'm not going to add the person's phone number now. And you got a person's email address. And what's the next step date? By the 21st, what must you do? You have to order the camera. Okay. You see, if you had the paid plan, you can attach the design there or the different quotes you had, all that there. Okay. And then you're going to say in progress. Okay, let's keep this on open because you haven't started on this thing. Let's keep it on open. Okay. Let's add another one more task. Let's call it the server room or something in a different, I'd like to say garden maintenance. Garden maintenance. There's a new tree on a plant. Okay. Once again, you choose the department, which would be gardening. Next steps, order the soil. And you'd like to do this tomorrow. And this is due end of the week. See, it's quick and easy. You can either add the time also before lunchtime because you're going to go home. Save it. You can put the contact as a number there. Open also. This is not so urgent. It's normal. You can see yourself once you've got the swirl, you've got your own garden maintenance team on site. They'll quickly plant the tree. Okay. And this will take maybe 2 hours. You don't have to put it in, but if you want to, it'll take you 2 hours. Okay. And I'm going to do one last one. I'm going to call this new task.
Just a quick question. So if you're putting in a time now to plant a tree 2 hours, right? And next month I want to do 10 trees, and I enter that same task. Will it calculate the time based on the previous tree that I planted or not?
Unfortunately not. Unfortunately not.
Okay.
So let's say blocked rain, okay? Let's have a blocked rain. And obviously, a blocked rain, obviously that's urgent, am I right? That's an urgent request. You're not going to put the estimated time there because you don't have to put estimated time, eh? Just remember that, eh? And let's just say this is due tomorrow. Or let's just say this is due yesterday, for example. Okay, let's give something different. Save it. But in this case, it's not yet done. So what happened was you call the contractor, they got the tender for this thing. They're the only ones allowed to work on the drains because maybe they built the drain and I don't know, you've got an agreement with them. So that's going to be waiting on contractor. Can you see? And then you can say, yeah, I called them plenty times. Just quick short text. All right. And then we go out. So now why did I do that? Why did I click a tick there? Because I want to show you something that you can do with ClickUp, and this is why ClickUp works so well. If Dayan shares this with his boss, his manager's not going to read all this stuff, am I right? Is your manager going to go through all your tasks during the day?
No, he won't.
He's going to get bored. He's going to get, what the hell is this? Am I right?
Yeah.
So imagine you could just show him all the stuff that is waiting on client, just waiting on contractor. So you know that you're not at fault. You can see all the stuff that's pressing, waiting on contractor. Maybe he can use his manager role and pull to get them to come on site quicker. See? How do you do that then? So in this case, what we'll do is we'll duplicate this view. So what I'm going to do is I am going to how do I do it on my screen? I'm so used to doing it on my screen. So what I'll do is I'll first change the view, okay? So what do we want to see? We only want to see the waiting on contractor. Am I right? So what I'm doing is I'm going to filter, and I'm going to filter by waiting on. Let me just see if I am filter by filter by task name, filter by tasks. Okay, so filter by waiting. So waiting on contractor. So all I want to see is if waiting on contractor is ticked or unticked. I can choose. So I'll say it's ticked. Please only then view this task. Can you see that? So now only this is ticked, and this is what I'm seeing. And I can save the view, and I can say save for everyone. Say save for everyone. And now I've got another view. Okay. Let us see something. Why is this? Copy as new view. That's what I was looking for. Okay, that's what I was looking for. Okay, so now I'm going to rename this view. I'm going to call this waiting on. And this is the view that now Diane can say, over here, please share this one to my boss, and you can put copy and paste this code, and that code only does once, that code. Anyone with this link can then view this thing. So if he wants to send this to his manager can by all means use this thing, and he doesn't need to have an account. So this is the view that Diane can show his manager. Another thing that can happen also is, let's say we're on this list, and I'm just going to quickly take out the filter. Yeah, take out the filter, so I'm going to see everything again. Let's just say for some reason the cameras need to be upgraded, but now what happened was he ordered the cameras, but they couldn't deliver it because the price increased. Just give an example. This normally happens in real life. Price increased and it's out of budget. So the budget was 45,000 Rand, and now the new price, because it's a new year, and someone is late on the order, the new price is now 56,000 Rand. So it's 11,000 over budget. Now Diane doesn't want to lose his job and just pay the people now and sign off the thing and say, no, our guys will pay for it. Okay, he wants to keep his job. I'm bad with my spelling. So what's he going to do here is, what do you think he's going to do here? Diane, what do you think you're going to do? You maybe want your manager to review it, am I right?
Yeah.
So you put it under review, and then you can see now all the items on the review, in progress, or open. Sorry?
No, sorry, man. It's my mother that was talking.
Oh, okay. Okay, so your mother can also join in. There's some people that are managing their household using this thing, like who must wash the dishes. I was in the international webinar, and there was someone in the audience that was, who must wash the dishes and who must clean the garden at a household level. So if you do share this view with your boss to show everything that you're busy with, and then he can just have a look at all the stuff that needs to be reviewed. That makes sense. And there's a short snippet of why it needs to be reviewed. And even though he doesn't have an account, he can click into it and you can view all of the stuff. You can view the comments, you can view the attachments, you can view everything. The only thing he can't do is obviously edit anything. Okay. How does that work for you guys? You guys learn something?
Yes, we did. I did. Looks like something I can work with.
So will this thing work for you, Diane?
Definitely it will work for me, yeah.
So if I send you your spreadsheet back to you, and you'll be able to do the rest yourself?
Yes, I would.
Is it simple enough?
No, definitely it is.
Cool. And if I can ask the rest, there's only 3 of us in the meeting room. Maybe you can unmute yourself and maybe just give a use case of how you think you can use the program compared to other programs you used.
So can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly.
I just want to find out from you, are you able to export a report from all these 4 datas? Just to see on Excel, is it possible?
Oh, it is possible to export some stuff. I'm not so certain on what can be exported and all that, but what I've done is, on my case, I've taken this list view and I go like this and I export it to Excel. So a CSV file, Excel file, and I export all that data. However, the reason I always ask, why do you want to export it? Because you can share this with someone live. And number 2, you can create dashboards. And I don't want to go into dashboards right now because it's now 8:10. The meeting is going to finish at 8:30. We can go into dashboards if we want to, but think about it. The main reason to take it to Excel is create charts. like what's in progress. But let me hear from you, Leping. What would you like to use the dash? What would you like to use the export function for?
I just want to see, like, say now the delay. How sorry, how long it took to finish the task.
Oh, okay, but
Because obviously I'm in the project environment, so I like to see things happen and how long it took.
Okay, so what happens with ClickUp? ClickUp allows you to see in progress. So let us say in progress of the project, in progress. ClickUp allows you to show how much time you spent this thing in progress. I do believe it's a new feature, and I do believe it's on the paid version. So I want to go to the paid version. If you guys want to go to the paid version, I can show you the paid version. I'll be honest with you, it's very, very cheap. I think I'm paying $9 per person. And what's nice about ClickUp is if you have one person, they give you 5 other people extra that can use it.
Isn't ClickUp like 75 Rand?
Okay, I'm not sure how. I'm still using the dollar term, and I'm using the business one. So I'm gonna go to the pricing page. But I'm paying about $8, I think, or $9, I think, on the business plan, and I get to have 5 or 7 people, or 10 people extra on my thing. Not getting the same functionality like myself, but getting most of the functionality.
Yeah, there's an unlimited one for 77 Rand per member per month, billed annually. Or 140 Rand for monthly.
I'm gonna show the pricing screen. Let's go to the pricing screen now. Then while it keep come up, okay? Let's just say downloads upgrade. And what's nice about this, they haven't put in you don't have your banking details on here, so they can't charge your account. Whereas other software, they let you put your banking details in, like Evernote, and then they take money out when they feel like it. So this is the free version. You see 100 megabytes, it's still the same. See, unlimited tasks, unlimited users. It's really, I mean, this is going to serve your basic needs for most people. I know Leanne is in the virtual assistant space, so she helps with tasks. So hopefully if there's anyone else that needs help with virtual assistants or needs someone to help them with their tasks, Leanne can help you with that. I don't mind if everyone who's maybe introduced themselves after the call or just send a closing note, we can maybe get to know each other and maybe share our skills. But Leanne, in your case, because you are more project management focused and task focused, I would believe it would be best to go to the business plan. And if you notice the thing, if you just toggle this thing to monthly, it almost doubles in price. And there's a good reason for that. And I believe in the reason is because if you're in a project management tool space, you have to commit to the product. You can't use the product for 1 month, 2 months and see it's going to change your life. And then if it doesn't work, you change. So what ClickUp is trying to do is they're trying to keep you on it for at least a year, because it takes about 6 months to build your workspace and to get used to it, to its full potential. If you're just going to keep it for a month, see how it is, you're going to have some difficulty and then you might cancel. So they're trying to keep you and actually enjoy the program and work with it slowly. So I agree with them to keep it at a year and annual, and they really discounting it a lot at an annual level. For such software out there, with all the functionality, you might pay sometimes 77 Rand a month just to keep track of your time.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
It
maybe
really
just
is
as a
a good
document
price.
server, you'll pay that amount of money. Here they're giving you all that functionality. So yeah, that's the way it is. So let's just say it's 77 Rand a month, times about 12, you get the annual amount. What that allows you to do is this will be the most popular. But for me, because I use the advanced, how can I say, I use advanced views. So private views is one of them that I use, that I love using. So what happens with the views is you end up getting used to a view, and you're so used to that view that you're the only one to view that view, and you don't want other people to change it. Whereas if you're on the unlimited plan, people can still change your views, and you can't really set default views. You still go to the normal view and you have to change it again. It takes a bit of time. You get so used to the program that you just want to see that view all the time. So you just pay extra for that. Another reason you'd like to do it is because you'd like to add more guests. And this is where the pricing comes in if you understand the guest view. So the guest, even though you're paying for one person on this thing, you can add 5 other people on your workspace. And that 5 people can do most of the functionality on ClickUp. The only thing they can't do is they can't set up and create a space or create a setup part, but they can create tasks, they can chat, they can edit tasks, they can do the most of the stuff that a person in the business would do. Besides the owner. The owner would maybe be the one who's setting up everything. So that's why I chose a business, because it gives you the double amount of guests. And then it gives you more automation. And automations is something that is going to be, we are going to speak about it in one of the webinars. So if you join every month, let's just quickly see the date we can do the automation. So if you go to the live training page on my website, we've gone through the getting started part, okay? Then we're going to go to the general features. So I'm going to speak more about the features of what the features are doing. Then we're going to talk about the views. So I'll talk about how you can view your tasks and what views are best and how it can, some use cases. Then we're going to go to the reports and dashboards, and then you're going to see only in the 5th month, we'll talk about automations. So automations is where the power of ClickUp also comes in, and I use a lot of automations. So Leanne, any other questions maybe on your side?
No. I'm glad that I went to this because I was playing with this and another project tool.
You can give the project tool name because we're all familiar with the project tools.
Asana.
Asana. Good.
Yeah.
I'm happy you said Asana. So if you look
This
at the
just
online...
seemed really complicated, so I landed up playing with that Asana a lot more, and I'm starting to love it now because I'm definitely a Monday.com lover, like a hardcore Monday.com lover.
So you can't use Monday.com?
No, I refuse to pay for something like that right now. Especially while it's like, the beginning of the year and, onboarding clients and stuff. So I was looking at what I can look at free or at a very good rate. And now that you showed ClickUp, I'm sure I'm torn. This is so much better than Asana. Yeah.
True. The thing with Asana and all the others, they're quite popular because they started earlier. And they're quite popular because they built their brand in terms of starting early to market, and they've advertised very well, like Monday.com advertises everywhere. ClickUp hasn't advertised much. They are newer software, but if you look at what they're doing and where they're heading and what their goals are, they are taking over the project management space.
I would like them to have like a virtual assistant kind of when you signed up, you remember like your scope of field or whatever it was that you showed us. I would like something more detailed to my industry. Obviously, it would be nice, but that will obviously come in time, hopefully.
Okay, let's go through that. I didn't show you everything on ClickUp, and we can talk about the features of the next one. I was going to quickly give an example. If you start your workspace and it's blank and you don't know where to start, you really don't know where to start. What ClickUp has done very well, I don't like it though, because I understand business and understand processes, and I like to have my own process built. But what ClickUp has done is you can go to the template center and you can browse their templates. So they've got ready-made templates out the box over here on different types of spaces, different types of use cases. And they've also created a community web part. So on the community part, people are sharing their own workspaces also. So myself, I've also shared a few. They audit it, they check if it's going to work, and then they add it on. So this is something new they started and they released this last 2 weeks ago. Okay. And that's, again, because they saw people are using this program so well, and everyone's recommending to everyone else, that they started sharing each other's use cases. So let's just say for Diane, you want to have a simple CRM. There's a simple CRM for him. You can use a template. You can import this whole thing. I'm going to call it a list name for simple CRM, so customer management relationships. Import everything, use the tool, And there's the CRM system. And then from here, you can edit it.
But he would need to
Obviously,
add this himself, or can this be integrated with his emails, or what?
So here's his, this is just the layout. So all that's happening on the template, it's giving him all the custom fields done already for him, basically. So it basically does the custom fields for you, and it does all the statuses for you. So lead, opportunity, won, lost. So in his case, he won't be using those type of statuses. You'll have to update that. The stage they're in. He might have to change his line and say, no, they moved in, they still gonna move in, they moved out. Estimate value, maybe you can choose the amount of commission that the person's gonna earn. Confidence level of, maybe it's a new tenant that's moving in. I don't know. It depends on the use case of what's important for him. Email address, all the contact details you can put inside here. So the CRM tool, there is import functionality that you can import the stuff in from Excel also, instead of adding all of it together. There is ways to do it, but that's more advanced. Okay. And normally you speak to a consultant to perform that. And I am one of the vetted consultants for ClickUp. Obviously, that is why I'm going to be speaking highly of ClickUp. But I wouldn't have become a vetted consultant if I didn't believe in its product. Cool. Any other questions?
No.
Daniele, any questions on your side? You've been very quiet. I noticed you maybe can't speak because of the mic. It's not showing a mic function. You're welcome to type. Okay.
Could you send me the registration again so that my friend can come next time?
Okay. Can I ask that you go to the website on cfi.co?
What's wrong? You're not feeling okay.
Huh?
On the live. On the live.
Yeah. What did I do to you?
You make me tired.
Diane, you're not on mute now.
Yes.
Yeah, Diane. Thanks, guys. But
you see, they said on LinkedIn your mic's on mute. Now we must say your mic's unmuted.
okay, so just your website, then go to the live training.
So go to cfi.co and then go to ClickUp training or live training. What happens there is you get to choose what training you want to go on, man. So what I'm doing is I'm having a live training every month. So if you click on that one there, then it will open up the Zoom link to register.
Okay, cool.
All right. And then we can have a Q&A on Thursdays. So on this very topic that we discussed, we're going to have the Q&A after that. It all depends how much participation I get. I don't expect much participation on ClickUp for the next 3 months because it's so new and I'm still market it, and you know what I mean? I can't see it being very interactive. So the sessions will be small. I foresee maybe after April, after the Easter holiday, and then maybe in May, it will probably pick up.
So sure, I don't have to tell you, Facebook and LinkedIn at this point is going to be your best ways to get more people involved.
I've tried, but you see, people don't. If people don't understand the product with ClickUp, you don't know what it's about, how it's going to benefit you, then you're not going to register for an hour and a half training at 7 o'clock. The only people that will come in is from my YouTube videos, because I'm going to be pushing a lot of YouTube videos out there. So what will happen is the YouTube guys will come in, and instead of paying my dollar rate in terms of setup per hour and seeing all the other people's dollar rate and setup, they would want to benefit from this, which is fair. And that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to help those who have a general setup at least have a starting point to use the program. And once they're fully set up in terms of where they're at and they're comfortable, then they can come to a consultant like myself, or who's on the ClickUp consultancy space. So on the ClickUp consultancy space, you've got the ClickUp consultants that's listed, and they can find a fit that helps them in their specific industry. It's $150 to $300 pricing, these are the people. And it all depends on what you're trying to get. So that's where I'm at the moment. And it all depends what you're trying to build.
Wait, what's that about?
So these are the consultants that help you get onboarded onto ClickUp.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, cool. Let's see what. Look, next month's one is going to be on the general features. So that's how to use the custom fields more better. How to use checklists, how to use the tags, how to use the statuses, how to use the subtasks, how to get into the views. So this view can be in the board view also. So you can see everything like by board view, a different way of looking at it. You can group things by priority, by overdue. So there's different views. So with your same tasks that you have, you can then overview it in different ways instead of making the new task from scratch. That's what I'm saying. It's pointless putting it into an Excel sheet if you've got all this functionality in ClickUp, if that makes sense. Cool. And we're going to go through more collaboration on if you add a guest. Hopefully, Diane, maybe you have a guest that you'd like to add on this thing. We can maybe go through that guest view, how you can communicate with your team members. I'm hoping to do that. It's a bit hard to do it on a live webinar, especially when I'm YouTubing on a live stream, because I don't want to share sensitive information. I'm mindful of that. Everyone's space is private, so you can't, we don't want to share that with like sensitive stuff. Yeah, then I'll go through the notifications bar on what you can see by notifications, how to start your day on ClickUp, what works for me, and dashboards. So briefly, because you first have to get your setup right to see a good dashboard. Yeah, I don't know how to end it. I don't know if anyone else can give the last words, or maybe everyone is so sure.
I just want to ask, Asad, if you make a mistake, right, can you edit it easily?
You can get it very easily because ClickUp has got a search function. So you can see, if you click at search function by text, you can search anything. Anything and everything you can search for. What else it does is it gives you an activity list. So there's an activity view that you can see everything. So let's just see spaces, show everything. Here's all my stuff. Every single thing that's on ClickUp will be here. You can add a view called activity. Okay, so form, guys. Forms are not available. No, man, forms are. Sorry, my apologies. I'm looking at something else. I thought forms aren't available in the free plan. That is available in the free plan. So activity, you can see these all activities for today. Who commented, who added, who blocked, who added the block trains, what he did, when he did it. So you can monitor your staff, you can monitor your projects on this level also if you want to do it.
Okay.
You can filter by the activities, and then you can click onto it, and if you made a mistake, you can just edit it.
And then when you assign tasks to your employees and now they upload a wrong spreadsheet or invoice, can they just remove it easily?
They can remove it easily also. So
so they don't need to have special rights.
None of your special rights. You can choose the rights they can have, which I'll go through the users also. You can choose a user like here, user, but you see he doesn't have any users. So if you had to add a user here, permissions, you can get permissions here. Okay, but he's the only one here. But you can add different permissions for someone. Can they add? Can they comment? Can they edit? And if they delete something, you can see here this person deleted this attachment. Okay. I don't know if everyone wants to maybe show their face if they're not shy, and then we can say goodbye. So we can put a face by the voices. And maybe just introduction of how or what you thought of the session, or how you'd use the session, or what you'd like to see in the next session. That would be more important for me, so I can plan it better.
I wasn't actually going to join this session until I sent Asad a spreadsheet, and I told him, please, my friend, can you just clean it up for me and send it back? And then he said no, he will. He's got a better one for me. He's going to ask me to join this session tonight, and then I can do it myself. So I'm actually very glad that I came on board. It is something that I could possibly use. I think maybe Asad, maybe that 1 month break is maybe too long in between. Is it possible to in between that month?
So then I get the month.
The month is too long.
But you can join the 21st, Ayan. We're going to have a Q&A on the 21st. So I'll have a quick Q&A, 15 minutes, 30 minutes. So use the program and then we'll go through the Q&A. That's why I'm hoping that after each session, everyone goes back, goes through the thing where they're struggling, go to the Q&A. I'll guide you through the process. And because it's a live thing, I know I'm going to go through the general topics. If that makes sense. Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Asad. I enjoyed the session.
Cool, man. And you're playing yourself. You can unmute yourself. It's fine if you're shy to show your face. Anything I should focus on next session?
No, I think everything. Sorry, I've got a dog here. I think everything is good. I enjoyed it. Thank you very much. It's nice to see it without me having to go through it myself.
Okay, cool then. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Now I'm happy everyone enjoyed it. I was expecting about 5 people. Only one person missing. The security school. I've gone through the CRM of the security school, how a student is being onboarded and what type of course they're taking. I would like to show that. But yeah, at least I think we got a lot done in this hour and a half. I was supposed to have a break of 10 minutes halfway, but we didn't end up having that.
That's fine.
Okay, cool.
Which is good.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks
very much.
Thanks everyone then. No, thanks everyone. I'll see you guys hopefully the 21st or then next month. Perfect.
Cool.
Thanks, Diane.
Thanks. Bye.
Cheers, Asad. Cheers, Adam.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.